When the wind changes direction, there are those who build walls and those who build windmills. So says a Chinese proverb. Wind here is, of course, a metaphor for change. Bob Dylan sang about social change blowing in the wind. The rock group Kansas offered nihilistic words about wind and change. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away and all your money won't another minute buy. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Gone with the Wind captures in 4 words the swift collapse of a culture. Wind is a biblical image for change. The Lord came swiftly on the wings of the wind, for they have sown the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you do not know where it comes from or where it's going. And suddenly, a sound came from heaven like the rush of a mighty wind. When the wind changes direction, there are those who build walls. Baptists have a rich history as wall builders, declaring that God does not hear the prayer of a Jew was a wall. Boycotting Disney was a wall. Making June Cleaver the biblical model for motherhood was a wall. Calling public schools dark and decaying places was a wall. Naming the prophet Muhammad a demon-possessed pedophile was a wall. These Baptist wall builders seal themselves off. They resist change. They retreat from cultural transformation. And these Baptist wall builders are not the only Baptist wall builders. Maintaining the organizational status quo is a wall of surrender. Doing the same unworkable things over and over again is a wall of non-productivity. Pretending that the nation's largest Protestant denomination does not adversely affect our churches and our culture is a wall of denial. The greatest challenge facing Goodwill Baptist is the tradition of wall building, the temptation of wall building, and the timidity of wall building. Now, any number of people have played with the idea that the Stone Age did not end because we ran out of stones. The Stone Age ended because we found a better way. Goodwill Baptist must find a better way. A better way than wall building is windmill making. In a hot, flat, and crowded world, windmills are preferable to walls. But please don't confuse windmills with pinwheels. Pinwheels react to change. Pinwheels spin without productivity. Windmills respond to change. Windmills are productive. Windmills harness the winds of change. Windmills turn wind into power. As a symbol, windmills suggest that we are a responsive people, not a reactive people. Windmills say we're a green people, not a carbon-polluting people. Windmills say that we are an innovative people, not stale saints more committed to burying the dead than living into the wind. As an organizational principle, windmills are autonomous. Each windmill harnesses the wind it needs to generate its own power for its own productivity. In the 21st century, windmills underscore our connectivity. In the 21st century, windmills will be connected to a national energy grid that supplies power all across the country based on fluctuating conditions and demands. Each windmill contributes to, and each windmill benefits from, its connectivity to the energy grid. Call it a synergistic relationship of mutuality. The challenge at the macro level for Goodwill Baptist is the tradition, the temptation, and the timidity of wall building. We can build walls as we go forward, or we can build windmills. Investing in windmills suggests that we are more committed to the future, a future of productivity, a future of innovation, than we are maintaining the status quo and patching up the crumbling walls. The challenge at the micro level for the Baptist Center for Ethics is how we cobble together the capacity to harness the abundance of wind, the abundance of opportunity. When we first launched ethicsdaily.com, what is now ethicsdaily.com, I fretted about when we would ever break the monthly threshold of 50,000 page requests. I now wonder what we will do when we break the monthly threshold of 650,000 page requests and continue to grow. In addition to the success that we've had with ethicsdaily.com, we have had success producing documentaries. Our most current documentary, Different Books, Common Word, Baptists and Muslims, aired in January and February on over 130 ABC TV stations. That in turn has opened up the door for an abundance of other opportunities, including the opportunity to produce another documentary that will air this fall on ABC TV stations. We have built two successful platforms that harness the winds of change. If the greatest challenge we face is capacity, our best contribution to Goodwill Baptist life is how we share these successful platforms in a way that ensures authentic, synergistic partnerships of mutuality. Babs, I want to shift now from a Chinese proverb to an African proverb, and I hope this gets at what we're about at this meeting. An African proverb says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.